I was in Philly, and I was actually with my man. And just full disclosure, since it's y'all, of course he was strapped.
Yeah, of course,
just
at all times,
protecting each other. And so when I was done getting my hair cut, I was at the light, and I remember he called me. He said, "Yo, you good?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going home." He said, "All right, bet." And I watched him U-turn behind me and go the other way. He U-turned. I looked down at my phone at the light, and I just heard click, click, click. Somebody knock on my window. I'm like, fuck. Look up. Bro got the gun on me. I don't know why, but I rolled the window down. That's just where my mind took me. I rolled the window down. And he like, "Get out the car." And I said, "Huh?" And when I said, "Huh," he looked at me. He said, "Lou, I can't even do it to you, bro. I got too much love for you." And at that time, me and Meek Mill, we was doing a lot of coat drives. We was doing a lot of stuff in the communities. That particular community, you know, we just had our footprint on it. That's his neighborhood. Philly had adopted me, and so whatever I was doing over there, he would get behind me. Whatever he was doing, I would get behind him. Nonetheless, we was doing a lot for that community at the time. And the dude said, he said, "Man, I can't even do it to you." He said, "Man, I just got out of jail. All I got is this gun and a bus token to get home, bro. I ain't got nothing to eat." And I just was thinking fast. I looked. I said, "Look, bro, it's a McDonald's right there. You meet me at the McDonald's. I'll buy you whatever you want to eat." He said, "All right, cool." So my first thought was, do I let him get in my car? I was like, hell no. So I started driving first.
Yeah.
So I drove, went into the McDonald's, and I watched him running across the street to the McDonald's. So while he running to the McDonald's, I call my man, like, "Yo, pull back up." I'm like, "Pull up to the McDonald's. Pull up to the McDonald's." So they made the story like I sat down and ate with him on some. Nah, hell no.
Hell nah. You feel me?
I swiped my card.
Yeah.
I shook his hand. I said, "God bless, bro, but this ain't the way."
Yeah.
And by that time, my man was walking in McDonald's. I got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, y'all. Hold, give me a second.
Together, hope everyone's
Okay.
doing well. And
I just wanted to make this
familiar
video
faces here, so
because
you know, as usual,
y'all not going to tell
from
me
the end of last season until mid-April here, we're we've had a number of changes in our
I'm not
organization.
the next
And,
nigga, even though I had to wait
it's
3
been,
years and it's more than 3 years.
A good process to
the next nigga straight out of high school
to continue to work
to sports
and
from
develop our
South
team for 2000.
Okay, and I wanted to keep show the vibe
the
of people anticipating me.
Has been a little bit different
because
this
Lou
year
Will
than
was
it was
anticipated.
last year. This year we didn't have the Indianapolis Combine.
I wanted to show you what gun pointed looks like.
Pro days.
Okay,
So
because that's what he was
made it a little
talking
bit
about,
different,
and you
but,
feel me? That
in the end,
only way you can have him in that predicament
accumulated a lot of
is a certain
information.
linear breaching
Matt,
and kidnapping that would
rejoined
have
us and
he didn't want to go
been
through
heavily involved
to
in
have
the
someone else in a
process,
bad
and,
predicament. You feel me?
Dave Ziegler, Elliot Wolf,
So now,
and
you
Matt
guys
Crow,
not gonna
have
tell me
really,
this draft
carried the
ain't
ball,
trash.
and
This is
they've
my
done a ton
opinion
of
now.
work, and
No
their
one should
respective
attack me for
staffs,
my opinion.
that,
You feel me? Niggas don't talk shit because they don't
they
want that
oversee
player to turn up
as
on them.
well.
I want y'all to
In
turn up.
particular,
I don't
those
want
three
y'all to
guys
kill
really,
me. Okay? I
done
don't
a
want y'all to
tremendous
come
amount
rob
of,
me. Okay?
of work,
Uh,
evaluation,
of obviously authority comes in
organization.
right there, but
We can take it to the gladiator. We can take it to the gladiator.
we can take it to the gladiator, dog. Oh. Just to prove that that's the heist shit I'm talking about. Okay.
Tried to
It's the same Lou Will, click shit, and all the same thing, same people. So no,
what our opportunities are, and do the best we can to improve the team, like we always do. Same goals.
That is very fucked up.
So nothing's changed.
Okay.
There, but
Now, if you stronger than the
process this year
military,
is,
obviously I'm talking about niggas trying to be
some
in the
respects similar to last year,
military's
and, in some
hospitality.
respects
So if you
different,
stronger
as
than
I
the
said.
military and you think you can
always an
just
exciting
take over
time
the
of year to see
hospitality
new people
and
come onto your
yes,
team,
we not
and
supposed
for
to
us
listen to that common
take
law
another
that's
step
supposed to
in
be
the-
there
in
for
the
every
team building
child.
process.
But no,
So
y'all trying to have an
obviously have a long way to
alibi.
go.
Yeah, so you're not strong. hungry.
But, you know, it's another step.
Y'all trying to make an excuse that
Try to do the best
I
we can,
wasn't
take advantage of our opportunities.
taking care of Lanier breaching
You know, that's where we are.
till
here in
people got their therapy to be like, yeah, he's a regular person just trying to live his life. So you feel me? As I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, right? And shit like that. Well, I talked about it in my last video and shit like that. Like, what was that video called? Okay, go look it up, right? Oh, you don't have to. Okay, so now, athleticism, okay? We gonna listen to the reporters. Did they report on me? I played every position in high school. Okay? When I was 18, Lou Will was on Atlanta Hawks. Okay, so the two cold high school players, you feel me, make sense, okay, that they bonded together. And Lou Will played yesterday, and he said ride in reverse. That's a technique some people don't have. They trying to say I don't have it, but you know that's what Gwinnett always went through.
Yeah, I don't
So
know. I
you
mean, I
know
think
people
every team is,
not giving people
has
credit,
their
but
own
that's how
style
we
of
got
play,
our
has their own,
privacy. Then people start trespassing.
Offense, and so you're looking for a player that'll
So
fit your style,
now that we know the
maybe you
north
wanna have
side and
your
all of that,
style of that player. I think that's the way it is really when you draft.
and you know I'm from
almost
the
any
north.
player. You have a player that has a certain skill set, that's an impact player on your team, no matter what position he plays. You
obviously I'm
try
talking
to
Kurt Warner wise
accommodate
of the type of
play to
I'm
his
trying to be,
strengths, utilize his
and
skills the best that you can,
you know
whatever position that is.
the type of person I am. I go to the highest
honestly,
person that I feel like has the IQ, you feel me, of their title,
what the general
and then I
trends
let
and all
them
that
tell
are. It's
me,
really just trying to,
or I just go to
help
someone
our
that
team and
is
trying to
egoistic,
find the best
or you feel me,
methods
and let
we
them
can
tell me
to make our team as
without
competitive as we
arguing.
can, whatever that entails. And there's certainly a lot of,
you feel me. But if they
a lot
do
of
argue when I'm
chapters
trying to
in
have a
it, both,
conversation,
different ways to
checkmate.
do it. But yeah,
What
ultimately,
is
I
the
think you
dilemma
wanna enhance the
between
skills
me
of your
proving
players, no matter what
myself
position they play.
and others proving themselves? And you know I've done this multiple times, so you know this you feel me, proving myself is the bare minimum. But if people still want that same demo, like this is my first time asking someone, do I need to prove myself? So now we talking IQ. We're not talking about Lanier breaching.
Well, again,
you
I
feel
think
me? We're not talking
whoever
about
the players are,
missing
position you're
shots.
talking about, that if you
Or
want
like you feel me? Because
enhance
we
their
already got the
skills,
whole
then
dilemma
you
of the
wanna,
people that don't like great
you
players
wanna
to play,
adapt a little bit
and
of
they
what
want
your
their
scheme is to
people
do
they
that.
can be conscious
So
on to play because they want to
that's
rule
really
the
a
world
decision that you
type
have to
shit.
make.
So that being said,
We've had a couple different styles of player at that position.
we talking
and we tried to do
IQ,
that,
athleticism,
in those examples.
and
just a heads up to those that are asking questions here. I have a lot of hands
versatility
raised
and
today, I'm not gonna
evasiveness.
get to everyone, so
Okay,
we can limit it to one
because
question. Try to limit
obviously
questions to one
they
question
know
and
I'm
follow-ups.
super evasive, but if it comes down to authority work, making sure no
Good,
child
Joe. How
left
you doing?
behind or doesn't get killed for no reason, I'm not going to make a child go behind. So you feel me? That's the energy. We already got the point of
with Julian's been,
I'm better than Devonta Smith.
you know,
Devonta
one of
Smith,
the-
however you say his name.
one of
This
the
nigga
players
weighs
that's probably
166.
come,
He could weigh 170.
come further than most every other player that I've coached.
145.
And,
I was
his
slamming,
development from
giving 280s, 290.
quarterback in college to
we're on the
receiver,
field. I think
punt
wrestling is
returner,
harder
and
now.
even a
That's
defensive player, all
direct
things
pushing
that
back and forth.
positions that he never played.
Okay, so
it
when I
certainly
weighed
takes sales, punt
145 as a
returners,
freshman,
receiver,
I was giving our good
for a number of
good
years
heavyweights
those very
problems.
difficult positions.
Okay,
It's quite an accomplishment, especially considering
now,
the fact that he didn't do those things. Or wasn't trained.
All I did was get stronger every 365.
His toughness,
and I wrestled up. I wrestled up instead of
playmaking
and if you gonna tell me wrestling up is not harder than wrestling down?
It's a big part of the backbone of our.
Tell the 182 that then worked on Lanier breaching to a scale
Already worked to accomplish
and then
it,
wrestled down to 160. Okay.
Appreciation for
for
me personally.
So now that we see why that happened that year, whatever year it was.
If
Hope you're having a good offseason.
Yep.
This right here is in
So
all,
we talked
almost in
about
all
Crab,
counties,
and he
okay?
said, he was asked
Title
about
18
Crab.
United
He said,
States Code
I don't feel we've
241,
done the greatest
242.
job
Title
the last
18
few
United
years.
States
He
240.
said he's seen a
Said
different
that.
approach this year.
Jury generally 1621, I think. And there's more. You feel me? As that's the energy of fire cops working with y'all.
Well, we're always,
and
always
we will
looking
call
to
them out,
get better.
as we heard.
Always try to evaluate everything we do and try
So,
to find a better way to,
you feel
to do
me?
it.
That
So
right there
that's
is me being my own esquire, and now it's emotional ball.
Draft,
so it's and I've been to LA Fitness multiple times after that.
The course of the season,
okay.
whatever period of time it is.
So this being
always
said,
looking to do a better job. There were some things that
I even wrestled up my senior year
last year that were unique to the draft process, as I mentioned.
Coach was about to. I even wrestled up because Coach was about to put someone on the 170. So if you gonna say, "No, he weighs 170," I ain't manhandles him when I'm supposed to wrestle.
Improve the process a little bit this year.
Okay. So this being said, and I'm thickly this weight. Okay, so gaining weight is not gonna be a problem. Okay, as a 166 winning Heisman explains the whole goddamn
That's really what we
draft.
always tried to do. I don't think the mission's changed.
A wide receiver should only win if they goddamn do everything other than play right. I haven't watched the tape right. You dig what I'm saying? So you cannot say this linear breaching, but we can call it something else. That's being a sore loser. Okay. So that being said, Bill Belichick.
No, I think that's a really good question, and
done with zillions of drafts since the
depends on the
Giants
team
to
that
the
you're talking
Patriots
about and
to Navy
circumstances that they
and
played in that
ETC
could be
when he was
also,
in high school playing center
the
and shit
individual
like that.
player,
And he was making a
that
joke on
you're,
y'all trying to do racism.
evaluating. So
that being
that
said,
question has
because
some,
he's his own black belt.
twists and turns to it. It has an application that there was variance depending on which player, which
You
conference,
cannot
and the
say
set of circumstances
he wants to
around
draft
that,
any of these
that
people.
team or that individual player. So
if you can polka dot
in
the
some respects, the
sorry-ass
19 film
people
is probably a
from
better,
the stronger drafts.
more of an apples to apples
that is
comparison of
linear
where
breaching
players were, but
of work.
at the same time, we all know that
it's too much
players
to
get better
do.
with another year of experience.
There's too much work to be done. Let them play, and that's what y'all trying to do. But we gonna Moses this shit, okay?
As they would normally do, and there were a lot of circumstances surrounding the 20
now that we got out
so,
the way, that
made the
I could take on 280 pounders, and I'm talking about being a two-way player. As I talked to somebody and told them I'm a two-way player, and they didn't say, "Well, try offense only." He just said, "I've never seen a middle linebacker." But there's tape of me playing every position at South Gwinnett, okay? And there's tape of me playing the same way I do at LA Fitness. So you feel me? That's enough. You feel me? Because when I go to the league,
but yeah, the evaluation
that's not going to happen. So Naruto Rock Lee dropped the weight type shit.
It's not the same for all players.
That being said, okay.
By any means.
Bill Belichick does not want to draft Monmouth Smith over a better draft pick. And when I talked to the sports lawyer, I was trying to tell him all the offensive positions I could play, but couldn't because there was an asterisk of another position he could. Two birds with one stone. So I didn't talk about running back. So I guess he thought.
Well, again,
we know there's someone in the war room, even though I say that all the time, just to keep that little silence for when the rebuttal comes. This is serious. Listen to the reporters. The reporters already did the analysis on my crowd control, and then while they got their seats staring at me.
Cash spending teams in the league, and then this year that changed. And
so now
so that's really what
I can go to any team. Like I said.
Don't spend, then spend.
I'm not a bougie person. So I'm not someone that's like. So for there to be a direct point,
that's part of the averaging process came this year.
That means a lot of paperwork's been done.
again, do what we can to improve the team,
'Cause
like
I'm
we
not
always do
somebody
every year.
that's like, oh no,
That's what we're going to continue to do as we work
I'm
through the
going
draft
to work
process.
wherever I can work.
Other team building opportunities that
So that's
may or
what
may
I'm
not
saying.
come
That
along during the season,
there's
but
a lot
I'm
of
sure there'll be others
stuff
somewhere along
and
the
a lot
line.
of things that I've been doing as a
Evaluate those
detective
when they
as
present
I
themselves.
called up the stadium and talked to them. And y'all acting like I said with the crowd control shit, y'all acting like when someone calls up the stadium and uses someone's name, they don't tell them. But Dan Quinn already told me, okay? So that being said, this is fool me once, shame on you. Fool me once. Like I said, I am not bullshit. So this is my biggest argument. This is my only argument, right? You was not gonna tell me a 22-year-old that only weighs 166
And is there a kind of scale? We don't want to
can be big in his court.
with those questions. Sorry to go on, but kind of hammer it home.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are all good questions, and they're all things that we talk about and
Boy,
consider.
they waiting
I
for
mean,
me to talk
ultimately,
where I went.
I mean, it doesn't really matter
Today.
what round you take the player in. Once he walks in
That's
the door,
all. That's the community. That's
you know,
what I'm
he's a
talking
New
about.
England
You feel
Patriot
me?
player,
We
and he
all
puts on the
here.
uniform, he
We
goes
all
out
trying
there
to talk it out.
and competes. It doesn't matter if
You
he's in the
know,
second
there's
round
something to
or the
write
fifth round.
down. But
That
y'all in
really-
your seats,
that doesn't matter once he's on your team. So whatever his
clairvoyancing.
positives and negatives are, whatever
So,
he
you
brings
know,
to the table, whatever weaknesses you think he might have, or
the
all
objective
the other things you
is
brought
for
up, whatever those
the
are,
linear
they're
breaching,
the same,
not
no
to
matter
sound presidential,
where
and
that
to
individual
sound
player gets
welcoming.
selected. So
You know,
ultimately you
when
want to
you
try to
do your
maximize the
job
value of,
and you
of
still
your
get
picks,
yelled
but,
at, that's presidential
the
talk.
players the play are, and,
So y'all want
you
Bill
you try to
Belichick
put a value
to
on that,
do
and you try to figure
presidential
out what that
talk to
player
me
will do for your
instead
team
of it be
when he's
a
on your team.
welcoming.
What his role will be, what his level of performance will be,
What is role?
and
So
that's part of the
once again,
process that you use to select them. So
I'm the type of person
it's important with every pick. It
would tell
doesn't
Bill
matter,
Belichick,
what number it is or what round it is.
hey, I'll
It's
run
kinda
there.
each-
You feel
each
me?
pick
If
is its
everybody
own-
needs a goddamn
its own process. The level of
seat,
talent of the
and
players
there's an
certainly
argument,
changes as you
I'm
go
like,
through
give
the
the
rounds
people
in the
that
draft.
deserve
But
the
I'd
chair
say
a seat.
from a
And,
process standpoint,
and I'm in Fulton County
it's
where
pretty much the
Cam
same.
Newton
If you get
is.
into a later
So,
round,
you
you
know,
might want to, take a shot on a player, a Julian Edelman player
when did
that's
Cam
maybe,
Newton graduate?
there's some development in
Lou
that player
Will
because
was
he's
at
going to play a position
school,
that he
had his
hasn't played
momentum
before,
for any
whatever
kid
the
that could take it
circumstances
on.
happen to
And
be.
I left it there for any kid to take it on, and niggas
but,
forced it upon me.
As far as
So
the
I'm
other
gonna
parts
talk
of it,
about
the
it.
work ethic and the aptitude and
So that being
character
said,
and so
because
forth,
I do
commitment
still
to
got a
football,
youngin' that's
that
younger
type
than
of
me
thing,
that could still go to the league too.
those are part of
So that
every
being said,
conversation and every draft pick.
I have a lot of attention that I don't want,
Phil Perry, followed by Yanni
and
Caracas.
y'all not gonna tell me this draft isn't trash. So if I'm telling every quarterback, I'm not just, you feel me, people, "Oh, look at him trying to," no, you just bothering Bill Belichick. I'm telling every quarter, I'm telling every coach, if you can find a play, if you need me to goddamn be a better sports lawyer, then, niggas calling out niggas that respected my crowd control and did the middleman job to help their maturity, then I can do
Well,
that.
I think
You
that
feel me?
question really applies
Which
to
I told the sports law. I
every
said,
position
obviously
on
you
the
got a
board.
little maturity.
There are players that if you just
Because all I asked
grade
is,
them
do
on
you
what
want
they've
some
done
money?
or
I
what
didn't
their
ask you
their
to tell me
production
what
has
I
been
can
over
and
the
can't
course of their
do.
career,
You feel me? And I respectfully told you.
you're not going to get
you
that
don't
player
hear another nigga tell
if
you
you
to
see
shut
the
the fuck
player's
up
upside
and
and
just do your
development
job.
and
Like I've heard multiple times. So
growth. And
that being
you
said,
you pay a much higher price for the player than what his production
they
shows.
just confirm I'm doing a great
because
job,
you
and I
feel
get off
that
the phone with them
in time,
because it's
or
hilarious.
experience or
It falls in my
different system
comedy,
or whatever the
you feel me?
combination of reasons
But I am a
are
respectful comedian.
that player
Cam Newton
will
is from Fulton
perform
County.
above
You feel
maybe
me?
what his
So we
production
can see
was
what
in
Lou
college.
Will did, and we can see what
Could be
Cam Newton
injury
did.
related,
Okay,
could be, as
and
I
you
said,
can just
scheme
put it
related,
together
could be,
of how crowd control
just
works
the
with the
physical development
community.
of the player.
Now,
So,
that being said,
those are always things that you talk about. It's you're obviously betting on the
It's
come
not
there.
a
You're betting on
problem,
the
okay?
players'
It's not a problem.
development
It's not a
versus
problem
what you
to
might
still
actually
root
see
on
from
Bill
another
Belichick
player. But
if he don't come get me.
in some cases, the
Okay,
upside might be greater.
y'all
Maybe
looking
the
at me
downside might be
rooting
greater
up
too,
Bill
but
Belichick, and you looking at Bill
at some
Belichick
point,
cheese,
you
smile,
decide to make that
do his Grinch
investment,
smile,
and
because he done stole Christmas from
we all see
other
how the player
people.
turns out, but that's fairly common in every position. There are
Now,
always players
you
at every
telling me
spot that
I'm
fall
forcing
into
the
that
issue
category
because
that you have to,
I'm Webpoolz.
you know, you're going to have to draft
But that
higher
being
than really
said,
what they've done. But if you're willing to
you
do
know,
that, and that's what you need to get a player, then
the whole issue
draft
of
them in a higher
him
spot and hope
is
that
to
his
prove
production
myself.
eventually,
So, like I said, I'm all about
reflects
keeping
the-
people's senses sharp,
the
giving them the
potential that you saw in them.
opportunity to prove themselves, and it's their fault if they
Thanks,
don't
Bill.
prove themselves.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And so, you know, I have my own FBI, CSI, CIA, you feel
Hey,
me,
Bill, I'm curious about the so-called in-game
PD
adjustments to the
files
draft.
on everybody.
Prior to the
Okay,
draft, when you're doing all your homework, how many,
it's
if any,
just like
drafts are you guys doing internally?
weed being
So if
lawful
team
in a
at
state
8,
and then
9,
they
10,
still
11,
calling it.
12,
That doesn't
13,
make
do
sense.
this,
You feel
this is
me?
what we do at
Because it's
15
called, the
versus
country is
if we do
called
this is we do at 15.
America.
Or do you just sit back at 15 and at that moment make a decision? How much are you forecasting
So,
what other teams are doing and all the machinations that could occur?
It's America.
Right.
You
Well,
feel
I
me?
think
The
that
business defends
again, each draft's a little
America.
bit
You
different.
feel me?
And,
So if
so each
one
year's a
state
little bit different,
ratifies
but
it, it's
all that being said,
ratified in America. You feel me?
you know,
But
at
I
15,
haven't
I think
smoked
we
in a
could
minute. I'm
eliminate
just
a few
throwing out there to
players that
show
won't be at 15.
there's
And then you
like
could look at a couple scenarios
a lot
and say,
of
well, if you know these three players are there, which one
linear
would we take?
breaching and work still being done
These other
for
three
it
different
makes sense
players
if
are
I
there,
just
which
root
one would
on
you
Bill
take? You know,
Belichick
you go
and
through
Cam
that
Newton
exercise
and all the prospects.
and
Because y'all
talk
like,
about
if we
that,
stop
but
him from
I
going,
would
then we
say
can start
normally
booing the next
something-
prospect
now,
Bill Belichick will
there's
get. You
less
feel me? Or
options
some
at
shit.
15 than there are,
Because I said him, I
28,
didn't.
30,
Right now.
31, some of the spots we drafted.
So,
but,
that being said,
I would say normally something will happen, and there could very well be a
we're
player
roasting
there
you,
that
okay? It's 22
either
minutes. We just
you
gonna go
don't
an hour.
expect to
We're
be
roasting
there,
y'all.
or
Y'all get ready.
maybe he
We're roasting. This is a
couple
roast,
spots,
okay?
maybe at 12,
Bill Belichick
13, he's still on the
roasts.
board.
That's why y'all
and you really
don't
thought
like
that he'd be
him.
gone in the top 6, 7 picks, and then
He didn't
that-
roast Tom Brady.
you know,
That's
then the
why y'all
question
didn't like him.
comes, you know, do you move up and try to get that
He
player
don't
that's
roast
fallen
Cam
a little bit?
Newton. That's why y'all try to let him
So
be against
those are
Cam
kind of the
Newton and
scenarios
ask
you go
repetitive
through.
questions.
You know, which players would you move
He
up for
roasts
again?
y'all because y'all are
Which players would
trash.
you not move up for?
You need to
that,
be
you know, you
grown
would
and
wait
admit that.
decide whether you
Not
wanted to pick them
and
at the
enjoy
spot
the
that you're
show.
at.
Okay? That's
And
how
what
life works.
players,
No one told you to go take someone else's position
if certain
and think
players weren't
that
there,
you
and
didn't
felt
kill
like,
somebody.
well,
Okay?
the value of that pick might
Because
be the same whether you're at 15 or at a lower position, or again,
the
it's the same thing in
Heisman
every
winner
round.
was
but
a
you're
wide
talking about the
receiver.
first round.
I am not
You feel
saying
like
a
you're gonna get
Heisman
the
winner
same
cannot be
player,
a
the
wide
same
receiver.
quality of
But
player, or maybe the
it's
player
just
that you
like me. I'm not
whatever
gonna
you
bring that
think
up,
would be
but you
available
know,
at
it's
20,
just simple.
then
When you hear news,
maybe you
like they
trade
talk
back to
about
20
Michael
and take
Vick,
them
right?
there, or take that value
So you know,
at
if
20 rather
someone
than
can
taking
see
it at
who the
15.
kid gonna
So,
become from spiritual consciousness and riding
again,
in
I'm
reverse,
just picking numbers
that's
here
another
out of
thing
the,
why
out of the
I
hat,
brought
but
up
the
Lou Will.
concept is,
Lou Will talked about riding
that's
reverse
really what it
training.
is.
So
Who
who
do you
has the
move
high
up for?
score riding in
Who
reverse
do you take
training?
if you stay?
So who
and
got the highest
players
linear
are on
breach in
the
the
board?
person with the highest riding
And
reverse
if
training? Okay,
players are
so
on the
that's
board that
simple.
you
Okay,
feel
because
like
I don't have to
don't
be
add a lot of value, or maybe they're not
who they say I
kind
am,
of fit
right?
for your team that you're looking for
So,
in that
that
particular
being said,
situation, then maybe you say, okay, maybe we consider moving back. Now you can only move back if somebody else wants to move up. So ultimately, you've got to be ready
Bill
to pick.
Belichick right
But
now,
sometimes
for a moment, it's
there's
been
certainly
talking
many
about
times where
now,
we felt that
from when I came
we were
here,
able to get
or from when y'all
the same
knew me
player
as a
for
coach,
comparable value at
from
a
when
lower
y'all
time in the
followed
draft.
me as an alumni,
So
y'all helped me to this energy.
backwards. So,
we
again,
have to go back
really
to the,
all that is to say,
because you have to still hold me
I
to
think
this
the best thing we
energy.
can do
You
is do our
feel me?
homework, know the players. know
So
the
right
board,
now he's just babysitting, tutoring. You feel me?
you know, when we
And then
walk
y'all
in
think
for the
since he
final
hasn't
exam,
moved off
and then we see the
babysitting, tutoring,
questions
not
on
understanding,
the test when
it's more
when
of
it
a
comes our turn to
warning
pick,
because it's
or
the
maybe
New
a
England
few
Patriots authority.
spots
You
in
feel
front
me?
of
The
our pick,
authority
then we
behind
have to,
sports. You feel me?
you know,
And Bill
potentially
Belichick's
start making
been
some
that,
decisions, and
been the best
sometimes
NFL PA
people
because
come to
NFL
you with
PA doesn't was it?
opportunities. opportunities that you may not have anticipated, and then you have to make
doesn't
those decisions then
goddamn
as to whether or
check
not,
Roger Goodell.
you would want to
And Bill Belichick says that's the
move your-
NFLPA job.
move
But
your
what he
selection
does is he brings people in
up or
and let
down,
them learn
depending
their
on,
lesson.
you know,
If not,
what the
because learning your
offer
lesson is not learning
and
your
so
lesson
forth.
at the
So,
same time.
A lot
You
of
feel
it's
me?
fluid, but
and by-
there's certainly the scenarios that are worth going through.
And you feel me? But learning your lesson can be
exercises
learning your
to
lesson. So
think about
now
and to kind of prepare for. I'd say
I played wide receiver.
I'd say more
You
often
feel me?
than not, the ones that you go through don't happen. It's usually
Comparisons
something a
of
little bit
many
different.
wide receivers. You feel me?
So
I was hearing
it's-
Calvin
but
Ridley.
you never know. So it's again,
And
it's good
Calvin Ridley
exercise.
was. I don't think.
Thank
He,
you.
and I
Yep.
think I
apologize,
don't know.
everyone. We've gone a little over our budgeted time. We're going to make the
I don't know.
final
So
motion. Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Good,
I
Dan.
don't
How
know.
about you?
I was hearing a lot of shit. I was hearing Steve Largent. I was
That's
hearing.
good. We don't wanna
I was
hear him
hearing
anyway,
a lot of
so.
things. Then they moved me to running back,
We've been doing this a long time now.
and I was hearing Steven Jackson, and I was hearing Marshawn Lynch.
Characterize or assess this year's quarterback class in the draft.
Now, okay.
Well, as always,
So,
there are some interesting players.
Now,
I think we talked earlier about
juke,
the draft process.
like,
some
a
players
running
didn't
back.
play.
You feel
Some
me?
players
And
played
that,
full
and
season.
you,
Some
everybody
players
knows
played
that running back.
partial
You feel me?
season.
You feel me? Off rip, we're like, who?
So,
Say it. We know
You know,
it's
when you look
elusive.
at
You feel
at
me?
the players at that position, I think you see a
You
lot
feel me?
of
So, and we know
different,
only one running back in the league has the footwork
differences in the
of all the
2020
elusive
season.
running backs, and but no one jukes
a
like
lot
him.
of it's by
So we
conference.
gonna leave it
but
like
there,
that.
You know, some other
So that's dumb. You
circumstances
feel me?
as
That's
well.
really dumb. You
So
feel me?
it's an interesting
'Cause,
class.
you know,
It's an interesting group of guys, and some have.
When you don't
very
play
strong in
wide
some skills,
receiver,
some are,
like
seem very strong in other skills.
on outside,
So,
because niggas know
it's
you
definitely
gonna
an
burn them with a
interesting
juke
group.
move. What else type of Randy Moss comparison do you need? You feel me?
But thanks everyone for joining.
Great, thank you.
Y'all dig what I'm saying? You dig? You dig? That's all that's around me. Every time I'm about to play wide receiver, I be like, let me amp up the difficulty and play a different
Together, I hope
position.
everyone's
And then
doing well.
I played
And,
wide receiver and
nice
had
to
to
see a lot
deal with
of
Lanier
familiar faces
Breaching.
here, so,
You feel me?
Um,
Do y'all know
you
what
know,
Lanier
as
Breaching is,
usual,
right? Someone trying to kill a prospect
from the
before
end
they
of last
become who
season
they are.
until mid-April here.
Who else
we're,
was the niggas don't Lanier Breach
a
someone
number
that
of
ain't
changes,
nobody.
in our organization.
They might just do that for fun. You feel me? On accident.
A good process.
So that
to,
being said,
be able to
we
continue
are
to work
roasting y'all.
and develop our team for 2000.
We got a lot of time on our hands. So
the
now,
draft process has been.
I've always been known as one of the
different this year
fastest.
than it was last year.
You
This year
feel
we
me?
didn't have
This
the
whole
NFL
draft
combine,
made fun
but
of
we did have some opportunities on
the
pro days,
speed
so
of getting
that
off.
made it a little bit different.
Okay.
But in the end, we
So other words,
accumulated a lot of information.
I might run a 4.5. You feel me? Or 4.7.
Rejoined us and
All
been-
because the
been heavily
speed
involved
of
in the
getting off.
process, and,
But if I get off the
Dave
way
Taylor
that I
really
want to,
involved, and Matt
niggas
Crow,
know I would
really,
run.
Carried the ball on this. They've done
Okay,
a ton of work,
now
and
slowing down is this
their
energy.
respective
What's
staffs,
slowing down?
That
What's slowing you down?
that they oversee as well. But in particular, those three guys have really, done a tremendous amount
Okay.
of work,
Now,
evaluation.
that also being
organization,
said,
and,
ride
great
in
job putting
reverse,
things
you
together,
feel me?
so,
Everybody has a
it's been great
past
to,
life. So
spend
all
a
the
lot of
whole
time
thing
with
is,
them
what is my
and to,
samsara?
go through the process.
So I'm the only one.
We'll try
Okay,
to
so
be as
this
well
being
prepared as we
said,
possibly can heading into draft weekend, and then see what our opportunities are. And do
Devontae
the best we can to improve
Smith
the team.
is the Heisman winner.
Like we always do,
And,
the same goals
you
every
know,
year. So
I have
nothing's
many
changed
arguments,
there,
but my biggest argument
process this
to
year
let
is-
people plead their case
in some
is
respects,
you're
similar to last
not
year,
going to
in
tell
some
me a
respects different, as I said.
22-year-old.
Always an exciting
Like,
time of year to see new people.
You
come
feel
on your
me?
team
Maybe
and-
people will
and
argue with me.
to,
Then after we
take
get to
another
a
step in the-
humorous
in the
part,
deep
I
league
just go,
process.
all right, now
Obviously,
you're
a long
not
way
gonna
go.
tell me a 22-year-old is better
That's
than
another
me.
step, and
You feel me? After we get to all this, haha, you feel me? Randy Darrell Reeves will lock you down. Jalen Ramsey is cold. You think you're better than, you feel me? But then when they start talking about some 2021 draft, I'm gonna go, you not gonna tell me a 22-year-old is better than me. You're not even gonna tell me a 24-year-old is better. You're not gonna tell me someone my age is better than me. You better put some age on that shit. You better say they've been practicing. You dig what I'm saying? Because, once again, speed is to clean up IQ. You feel me? So niggas is saying they linear breach enough that my IQ is not gonna be this, so they gotta do something else for my speed not to be there. Right? Because it's not hard to know if someone jukes like the top elusive back and has hands that niggas know he gonna catch, just like his wrestling grip.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a top wide receiver prospect.
Has their own style of play, has their own.
Like I said, there's not current orange. There's no current orange on the street. It's a whole. This is a whole near multi-dimensional goddamn got your shit together.
That's the way it is, really, when you
thing. You feel me? This is not me saying I wanna play. Like I stared at someone like I wanna play football.
Accommodate and play his strengths, utilize his skills the best that you can, whatever position that is.
So listen now. When I went to middle linebacker, all that defensive clout disappeared. Why? Because that's the middle linebacker's job. So if I do it on peak, the niggas trying to shroud what I already know.
A lot of chapters in that book, a lot of different ways to do it. But,
even listen, the ball was never thrown my way. It doesn't matter. You feel me? It doesn't. You feel me? Forever, I'm gonna be shadow balled against from how many times I touch a field and we demo played. You feel me? Because this is like I said, this is how serious sports is and linear breaching shit, right? To high school and doing all that with turf toe.
Well, again, I think whoever the players
and niggas couldn't credit it. You feel me? That I had turf toe because they didn't know, but they were saying if he, like y'all saying now, if he gets momentum under him, he's gonna get the game down. Y'all said that with turf toe. I don't have turf toe no more.
A player at that position. We tried to do that, in those examples.
So that being said, I've been at the game down. You feel me? So that being said, because I will lock down Devonta Smith. You feel me? He's faster than me. He's not stronger than me. So I'm a win.
Good job. How
You feel me? I'm gonna be the strong. You feel me? If I'm a slow cornerback, I at least run a 4.7. You feel me? I run like a 4.4. 4.2. You feel me? If I burst off right.
Yeah, well, Julian's been
3.59. You feel me? Thank you, Bill. Bill, I feel Bill's energy. But yeah, so that being said, it's crazy. In my in my dreams, you feel me? So that being said,
his development.
My dreams. In my dream, I ran a 3.59. Okay, that's a dream. Exactly, it was just a dream. So I can dream, but niggas know I'm not slow. So niggas know I'm not slow, and I ran a 3.59. So that being said,
for a number of years at those very difficult positions is quite an accomplishment, especially considering the fact that he didn't do those things.
That being said, as I'm roasting y'all,
his
forever
toughness, his competitiveness, his
because everybody wants to have that reign of walking in and niggas being like, oh my gosh, that's all I get wherever I go.
I have a ton of respect for Julian, what he accomplished in his career.
So you
how
feel
hard he
me?
worked to accomplish it, and great appreciation for all he's done for me personally and our organization.
Next question.
we
Ben
still
Ball,
trying
followed
to
by
let
Mike
Bill fall off and
Hey,
get
Bill, hope you're
roasted
having a good
for,
offseason.
you feel me, for how many times I'll go
Couple weeks
talk to
ago, we talked to
somebody
Robert Kraft,
and tell them to
and he
prove.
said
Bill's
he was
been
asked
proving
about
he's
the
been
draft. He said,
on it,
I
you
don't
feel
feel we've
me?
done the greatest job
Y'all
the last
haven't
few
been.
years.
So
And he
community,
said
you
he's
feel
seen a
me?
different approach
The
this year.
objective
Would you agree
is
with
to
his
understand.
assessment?
In my
What are
dream,
some
I
of the
ran a
things that you guys are trying to do a
3.59,
little bit
and I'm
different this
known
year?
for being a fast ass person.
Yeah, well, we're always, always looking to get better. Always try to evaluate everything we do and try to
And
find a better way to do it.
My
So
shuttle
that's-
time is amazing.
that's,
You feel me?
I would say an annual
On ice,
process with the
you
draft,
feel
but
me?
it's something that we do on a regular basis throughout the course of the season, whether it's
You feel me? Because ain't
whatever
nobody
period of time
that
it is.
right
So,
now is in the position
always looking to
to
do a
scout
better
me
job. There were some
on my
things that,
side. So they,
last
so by
year that
default,
were
they
unique
out
to the draft
they out
process.
the
As I
argument.
mentioned,
I
some
get to
of
talk
those
for
are
myself.
similar this year. Some of them are a little bit different.
So that's
so
how
we,
it works. If you're not on
certainly
my side, and to be like,
use some of that experience to
well, everybody gets
improve
a
the
chance to
process
prove
a
it. So
little bit
you
this
on my
year. At
side
least
to
we
make
felt
sure
we
I don't
improved it
prove
this year.
myself. By default, you out.
But
There's no
ultimately, we're
alibi.
still
You
gonna
have to
try
prove I'm not on your side. No,
evaluate the players
what?
and
I'm
make
not
the
trying to
decisions that,
prove
we
people
feel
is
like
not
are
on
best
my
for the football
side.
team. We'll continue to do that.
If someone has a gun on me, I'm not trying to prove they have a gun on me.
That's really what we've always tried to do. I don't think the mission's changed.
You know you a punk if you telling me I have to prove you have a gun on me.
The college football season was so strange this year with
So that being said,
some guys not playing.
Bill Belichick
What's it
is,
like watching film
like he
this past
said,
year? Do you find the
he
film
watched
to be
Navy.
useful
He
in the
doesn't
process?
care that his players cuss. He cares that his players don't
No, I think
take
that's a really
up
good
for
question.
themselves. They don't
and,
mature. They don't take
It depends on the team that
responsibility
you're
when they
talking
cuss.
about
Tom
and
Brady cussed all the
circumstances
time.
that they played
You feel
in.
me?
It could be also
All
the
Tom Brady
individual
needed
player,
was me right next to
that
him so he
you're,
could say the N word. You feel me? Other than that, you
evaluating.
feel me? He's
So,
not about to say it
I think that
around
question
people that
has
are
some,
waiting to be like, ooh.
twists and turns
like,
to it. It has an application that
you
there
feel
was
me? All you
variance
needed was
depending
somebody
on,
around him to know.
which player, which conference, and the set of
No,
circumstances
we don't want a
around
presidential talk to him.
that team or
He's
that
all right to
individual
say
player.
it. You
So,
feel me? Because that's all y'all want to do is him cuss and
in
then
some respects, the 19
say that
film
shit.
is
Now he
probably a
racist
better,
or something. He not racist.
um,
And this is what you're not gonna tell me. You're not gonna tell me
more of an
Julian
apples to
Edelman's
apples
better than me.
comparison of where players were, but
You're not gonna tell
at
me
the same time, we all
Antonio
know
Brown
that
is better
players
than
get
me.
better with another year of experience, and
Y'all, Antonio Brown.
and so there were a lot of
Okay,
players that improved from 19 to 20.
you're not gonna tell me
As they would normally do.
Devonta
and
Smith
there
is
were
better than
a lot of circumstances surrounding the 20 season, so it's made the evaluation
like
a little
I've
bit different.
never
And,
had
just have to try to
fitted
figure out
clothes on,
what you think the player will be able to do for
fitted cleats
your
with
team,
no
what his
turf
role
toe.
will be, and what the rate of development or what the process will be when you get them onto your team. And there's a little bit less information.
You dig what I'm
than
saying?
What we normally
That's
do.
a whole
all teams
30%. If that
same
person has the
general
IQ
information,
to maximize that
each
to
team's gonna have to
90
make his own decision on that.
to
But, yeah, the
100%
evaluation's definitely
efficiency,
different, no question.
leaving
It's,
off for
we've
people
had
to
a lot of
still be like,
conversations
yeah,
about it.
he has a chance
As
to
I
be
said, it's
somebody,
not
but
the
if
same for all
you
players,
feel me,
by any means.
y'all still talking about some Lanier breaching gonna stop me from being somebody, and I haven't had the fitted clothes that I have on
Hey, Mike.
like a singlet in wrestling. Let that shit feel like a singlet. Y'all know y'all not stopping me. You did when we know this, so we're roasting you. Because check this. Who gonna stop me on the go route? That's easy. We play off of you. My point exactly. We
Well,
play
again, the
off.
process this offseason was to, as it always is, to try and improve
Now,
the
who
team.
gonna stop me on a comeback?
try
You
to
don't
do
know the
everything
difference
we
between a
can to
comeback
make,
and an end.
Ourselves as
Yeah, I don't
competitive
know
as
the
as
difference
we can
between
this
a
year,
comeback
which
and
is
an end.
what we try to do every year. So, we had several years in free agency where we were
If that's what it's called.
one of the least cash spending teams in the league.
Who's
and then
gonna
this year,
stop me on
that
a
changed
dig
and balanced
route?
it off. And so that's really what you have in the NFL teams.
Who's
that
gonna stop me on a jerk and I got the
spend
best
and spend, teams that
juke
spend,
moves?
and there are years when they don't spend. So it averages out over a period of time, and that's part of the averaging
Listen.
process came this year. But ultimately,
Talking about
trying
some
to,
play Devontae Smith.
again, do what we
He
can to
shot
improve
the
the
ball
team like
against
we always
me
do every year.
in high school. What
That's
y'all
what we're
talking
gonna
about?
continue
He's
to do as we go through
22.
the draft process, and other team building opportunities that may or may not come along.
You heard about the
I'm sure
Luminize.
there'll be others. Somewhere
I'm known as the wrestler that also played football. It was cold.
Thank you. Tom Kern, followed by Phil Perry.
I went to the school Lil Will went to. It was cold at basketball too. I'm known as that. I'm known as that, okay? That's my whole linear breach, and I can play any sport. I'm known as someone that didn't want to go play baseball because how it's too easy for me. Just like I didn't go play wide receiver. But mother, we're going to go get us a ring, God. You dig what I'm saying? So, who's going to stop me on a dig? Who's going to stop me on a jerk? Who's going to stop me on a go route? Who's going to stop me on a comeback? Who's going to stop me on a Suedo go?
To make that evaluation when you're not spending as much time with these guys. And is there a kind of scale?
I'm listening.
No one there, but he's good enough to take in round.
He's good enough to this energy. You feel me? We talking energy. You feel me? It's still not over the head.
Those are all,
it's like
good
at the eyes.
And they're all things that we talk
Listen,
about.
I'm 5'9".
I mean, ultimately, it doesn't really matter what round you take the player in. Once he walks in,
it doesn't matter what round. Do what I'm saying.
He's a New England
This
Patriots
matters.
player, and he puts on the uniform and goes out there and competes. It doesn't matter if he's in the second round or the fifth
145,
round. That really
able to budge
doesn't matter.
290, 300. Had to lose weight to get to 280.
Are, whatever he brings to the table, whatever weaknesses
Budging
he
them
might
now.
have, or all the other things you brought up.
Pancaking them sometimes.
They're the same no matter
A 145.
where that individual player gets selected.
The
So,
senior year Russell 160.
ultimately, you want to try to maximize the value
Without
of
being
your picks, but
without
the
injuries.
players the play are,
and budging
you try to put a value on that.
double
You try to figure out
blasts and
what
all of
player will
that.
do for your team when he's on
And
your
they
team.
play, and they not playing you for
What
your
his
injuries.
role
They
will be, what
ain't
his
playing
level
against
of
your
performance will
injuries.
be, and
Y'all, you feel me? Y'all
that's
keep
part of the
comparing.
process that used
Well,
to
that makes you
select.
normal. No, it don't.
It's important with every
That's
pick. It
trifling.
doesn't matter, what number it is or what round it is. It's kind of each pick is its own.
So that being
its own
said,
process.
now
The level of talent of the players certainly changes as you go
like
through
that's
the rounds
that's
in
the
draft,
whole
but
route
I'd
tree.
say from a
Go,
process
comeback,
standpoint,
in,
it's pretty much the same. I mean, if you get into a later round, you might want
out.
take
dig.
a shot on a player, a Julian Edelman player that's maybe
That's the whole route tree.
There's some development in that.
Remember,
player because he's
it was
gonna play
never
a
my
position that he hasn't
athleticism.
played
It was my
before,
IQ tribe
whatever the
because
circumstances
I like to
happen to be.
follow. I know him. He likes to.
But,
if we can get,
as far as the other
that's
parts
the
of
whole
it,
fire cops,
work ethic and
compadres.
aptitude
Niggas that need turning their back, compadre, and
character
it. You guys is
work
not in the
football
league.
and that type
So
of
I'm
thing.
in the league.
Those
Kidnap.
are part of every conversation and every
Because-
draft pick.
I know people that know how the war room work all the way down to Bill Belichick. And y'all acting like I don't know Bill Belichick. But I'm not admitting that Bill Belichick gets a call, even though because he got a call beforehand because I'm the detective on the case. And I'm his detective.
The league values that spot.
Energy-wise, you feel me? Unconscious-wise, if not conscious, but is. Because Deja Vu and Ride and Reverse. But you know,
That he might not be around if you waited for the
head
point
ass
where
is, he didn't say it, so we don't know. But so you know, you don't know.
we're more closely aligned, if that makes sense.
Now, what is
Well, I think
defense about?
that question really applies to every position on the board.
Defending
There
those
are players
routes.
that,
So
if you
I just say none of these wide receivers are on my
what they've
pedigree,
done or what their production has been.
you telling me I don't know how to look out for the rights? No, that's what
You're
I'm
not
here
gonna get that
for.
player.
Head asses.
You see the player's upside and development, and
That's what a war room is for, okay? You guys are not in our war room.
you pay a much higher price for the player than.
So
than
what is y'all
what the
talking
player
like?
shows,
Why can't
because you feel
we
that
be
in time
friends?
or experience or
Listen,
different
deers in the
system,
crossing
whatever the
road,
combination of reasons
traffic,
are, that
freeze,
that player
premeditated,
will
dedication
perform
from this
above,
point since
maybe
to
what
now,
production was in
peaks.
college.
Whenever I wrote this,
Injury
ride and
related, could be,
reverse,
as I said,
foundations,
system related, could be,
synchronizations,
just the
headset
physical
tech,
development of the player.
scouts,
So,
hospitality,
those are always
authority,
things that
whoa,
you talk
organization,
about.
all work you put in,
Obviously betting on the come there, you're betting on
safety
the
precautions,
player's,
doctors,
development
how
versus
deep
what you
people
might
chose to
actually see
be
from another
in
player, but,
they
in
roles.
some cases,
You
the
feel me?
upside might
26
might
now.
be greater,
Harassment,
the downside might be greater too,
surveillance,
but you,
ensue.
at some
Knowledge
point,
of heritage,
you
right and
decide
reverse,
to make
community
that
work,
investment,
prospects,
and
voluntary workouts,
then,
and the
you know,
paper.
then we all see
You feel
how
me?
the
It's
player
time to
turns
start
out.
these
So
goddamn bonds. You feel
that's
me?
fairly common at every position. There are
Y'all
always
don't
players
want to
in every spot
goddamn
that fall into that
go to.
category that you
Y'all don't
just,
want me in the stadium. Guess what?
you know
We're
you're
not
gonna
having it
trade
at the
higher than
stadium.
really what they've done, but if you're
Meeting of
willing to do that,
minds,
and that's what you need to do
networking,
to get the player,
sponsorship,
then
crowd control,
you draft at a
upholding
higher spot, and
common
hopefully this
law,
production eventually,
discipline, individual voice,
you know,
respect,
reflects
no
the
word off limit
the
via common
potential that you
law,
saw in them.
tesseract respect, excess accountability,
Yeah, you're welcome.
respect, acknowledgement respect, off work respect, war room communication, draft shuffle, maturity, all of that is when I said from when Bill Belichick was in high school and he's like, now y'all know. And that's all he's really talking about, because in the end, y'all making fun of him for having a chivalry that you don't have to be a news reporter on a reporting these shit, but you know what he did from high school.
How much are you forecasting what other teams doing and all the machinations that could occur?
Y'all can make money off that type of news reporting.
Right. Well, I think that
So y'all don't want to do that.
again,
So he's
each draft's a little
we're
bit
roasting.
different,
I'm damn sure roasting. Like, oh my.
so each year's a
goodness.
little bit different. But
You feel
all
me?
that being
So
said,
we're roasting. It's not over yet. Y'all looking at the time.
at
Y'all
15,
checking the
I think we could
time. I swear
eliminate
it's
a few
about the
players
vibe.
that
Like, what
won't
the
be at
fuck is
15.
time? Like, come on now.
And then you could look at a couple scenarios and say, well, if
Look,
at
I'm
least
not
3
somebody
players
that's
there,
going to
which
go
one
out
would
on
we
the
take?
field.
These
and
other 3 different players were
be
there.
like,
which one would you take? You know, you go through that exercise
I'm
and talk
put
about
people
that.
in mind. I'm not
Let's
gonna.
say
If someone push me,
normally something. Now there's
and
less
thought that
options
was
at 15
you
than there
don't
are.
want to mess with this Lanier
28,
Breaching. Yes,
30,
I do.
31.
I've been doing this
Some of the
shit
spots that we
all the way
drafted from,
until we got to this point, talking to the community.
I would say normally
listening.
something will happen, and
So
there could very well be
I
a player
even
there
got
that
ran away from a fight
either
at LA
you
Fitness
don't
from Lanier
expect to be
Breaching.
there,
This dude trying to let me lose my LA
maybe
Fitness
he
goddamn
is a couple spots, maybe
ticket.
at 12,
Because all I do is
13,
cross
still
over
on
to
the board.
Lanier Breaching, so
And
no
you
one
really
want to
thought
pick
that he'd
me
be
up.
gone in the top
But hey,
6, 7 picks.
I go watch Blake
And then
Griffin,
after-
and I see
yeah,
LA
then the question
Fitness. I see
comes,
people
do you
hiding.
move up and try to get that player that's fallen a little bit?
And guess
so
what? You gonna
those
tell
are
me
kind
you
of the
guys don't want the
scenarios
NBA,
go
but
through.
you went to go watch
Which
me?
players would you move up for to get?
Whoa!
Which players
Now,
would you
and
not
those
move up
players,
for that,
celebrities,
you would
y'all
wait
celebrities, is not
decide
gonna
whether you want to
hide
keep them
for
at the
y'all.
spot that you're
I'm
at.
not gonna hide y'all
And
either.
what players?
So that being said,
if
right,
certain players weren't there and you felt
as
like,
Kevin
well,
Durant tries to follow Blake
the
Griffin and
value
stuff
of that
like
pick
that.
might be the same whether you're at 15 or at a lower position, or again, it's the same thing in every round, but you're talking about the first round. You feel like
All
you're
I'm
going to
saying
get the
is
same player, the
the
same
military
player, or
don't
maybe the
have
player that
not
you like,
one
for
prospect.
whatever reason you think would be available at 20, then maybe you trade
You
back
feel
to
me?
20
I
and take
haven't
them there,
set
or
my
take that
ground
value
zero
at 20
thing. This
rather than taking
energy
it at
is
15.
proof that
So,
I'm on a, I'm goddamn
and again, I'm just
kidnapped on a
picking numbers here
skyscraper.
out of the
You feel me?
hat,
Ready
but the
to
concept is
go downstairs
that's really what it is. Who do you move up for?
and talk my
Who do
ground
you
zero,
take
but no
if
one
you
want to talk
stay, and
the ground zero
what
because
players
that's
are on the
all
board?
obvious. So you
And
might as well
if
talk. You
players are
guys
on
is
the board
tripping.
that you feel like don't add a lot of value, or maybe they're not.
So that being said,
the kind of fit for your team that you're looking for at that
because
particular situation, then maybe you say, okay,
everybody wants to go.
maybe we
Oh,
consider moving back. Now, you
that
don't
was
move
me.
back
That
as
was
somebody else
me.
wants to move up.
Oh,
So
you got
ultimately,
turned
you're
on
not
because
gonna
of
be a pick.
me.
But sometimes
I'm like, no, please settle
there's
down.
certainly been
No, I
many
didn't.
times where
Okay,
we
no,
felt
I
that,
didn't. So
we were able to get the same player or a comparable
now,
value at a lower point in the draft. And
there's nothing else to it. Now we're talking about IQ. Now we're talking about
backwards.
fanatics.
So,
Okay,
again,
ride in reverse.
really,
You feel me? I
all
knew
that is
every
to say,
stadium when it was a
the
gladiator
I
dome.
think the best thing
You
we
feel
can do
me?
is do our homework.
If we
know the
gonna
players,
talk
know the board, and
sports,
you know, when we walk into the room,
we
for the
don't
final
need to
exam,
talk Lanier
and
Breaching.
then we see
Okay,
the questions
unless you want to
on the test
goddamn
when it
get
comes
a
our turn to
boxing
pick,
match.
or
You
maybe
feel
a few
me? And talk Lanier
spots in front
Breaching.
of
You
our
feel
pick,
me? But if
then
someone's talking
we have
sports,
to,
you don't
eventually
goddamn
making some decisions.
start talking about some.
Sometimes
Oh,
people will
Michael
give you
Vick.
opportunities
Michael Vick
that you
wasn't
may
that
not
good.
have
He didn't have
anticipated,
a
and you
line.
have to make those decisions then as to
Oh,
whether or not,
so Michael Vick ran a lot. No, he didn't. He didn't run. He did not run a lot. He didn't have a line. Name his wide receivers.
What the offer is and so forth.
Oh, so, you just defended. No, you just don't know nothing about football. So that's the whole god thing.
As exercises to think about. And
look, I'm on the skyscraper kidnap. They saying don't say it.
I'd say more often than
like, bitch, that is simple. How the fuck am I gonna get drafted or sign a contract?
Something a little bit different.
You didn't have that whole thing since y'all went all them words. Oh, we know the words.
So again, it's
okay, you got the scouts? Yeah, I got the word scout. I got the You feel me? Like GM and the group it's the group word. Or stopping him from saying the group word. Y'all got it. Oh, man. Head asses. Like, that's their fault. That's the fuck? Like, do you not understand? Y'all know Title 18, United States Code 241, 242 because of me and y'all on Hush and Conjury General. Y'all not understand? I got cops videotaped it and they go, no. Just like the girl that I called up the stadium and asked her, do you know about Lanier breaching? And she said it just like that. And then I get a call back from the sports lawyer because telepathy is real.
You know, when you look at
he just wanted to help with fucking up my clout.
I think you see a lot of
like, come on now, that's everything. What else do y'all need?
Differences in the 2020 season
got drafted because they didn't want to draft for him. A lot
of it's by conference, but they're
he should have stayed with the Chargers.
Well,
you feel me? Or he should have went to a team that war room. Because y'all thought, that's a good word to use for accusations. You feel me?
Some are seem very strong in other skills. So,
they did not give him no right. That's their fault. Listen, Aaron Rodgers won a ring because he had a coach that, listen, Andy Ring won a ring because he had Michael Vick show off his coach skills. Andy Reid would have never won a ring if he did not bring Michael Vick in to show how good of a coach Michael Vick was, and they didn't even let him coach. Listen, Michael Vick was glowing. You feel me? Before he ran, he was glowing. That was anticipated runs. No, that was his intelligence and everybody holding him back.
You know, as usual.
Like, hello, y'all. So, you know, there's years of players doing this shit, and niggas think that we still got 100 clips. Choppers pull up and reload or something of Lanier breaching.
You know, a good process to
because it's that simple.
To continue to work and develop.
Andy Reid got everybody that needed to be gotten to win a ring, and they didn't play for Michael Vick. The second he put Nick Foles or Kevin Carr back or whoever in the line blocking, Michael Vick go in, the line disappeared. Like what?
Made it a little bit
and then Michael Vick then sat the platform for why Bill Belichick don't have to elaborate and be bum rushed with why he's not explaining Cam Newton's situation. Michael Vick signed a $1 million contract for the 5G towers to defend his safety, and then they talked about dogs when he went to jail for crossing boundary lines. So that means he signed a contract and he wasn't supposed to leave a state. It wasn't he was caught in the house and they arrested him with the dogs. We know that. We know he wasn't in the house with the. So that's not that what. If I put a nigga in my house.
So it's been great to to spend a lot of time with them
and they got drugs. So. Everybody ain't getting arrested for drugs.
Try to be as well prepared as we possibly can heading into draft weekend.
That's the same with dogs.
And see what our opportunities are.
What you arrested Michael Vick and then propaganda it was dogs.
Same goals every year.
Because he gave people money. No, that's not how that shit works. So just to show you how bad the check and balance and Lanier breaching is, and you feel me? Ride and reverse people's past lives. I could have been a Marine or the Chief. You feel me? Like words off limits for me to say because ta-da and shit like that. But then the world eclipses ADBC type shit, and niggas like I'ma do better this time. No, I'ma do better this time.
That's where we are here in mid-April.
There's no goddamn, I'ma do better this time. No, we're going on with our lives, and y'all not. That's all this is. We've gone on with our life, and y'all not. So if we do high story repeat ourselves, you feel me, with going back to old jobs, it's because we are higher ranked. And we're not about to let someone else go through our alumni-ness because you haven't gone on with your life.
There are obviously guys that have had a lot of success. Just to name a few, maybe excluding Aaron Rodgers, who's probably...
That's how responsible the world is. Okay? No matter how irresponsible y'all choose to be. So, no, we are roasting. I just roasted, you know what I'm saying? He didn't say that. Keep saying I didn't bring that up. Y'all sound dumb as hell. You're supposed to...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
If
I think
a
every
nigga
team
say,
is, you know, has
yo,
their own
your
style
goal
of
right,
play,
your
has
goal
their
route
own,
can be better. He don't have to tell me
offense, and so, you know, you're
every footwork movement about I can make my goal route better.
You want to adapt your
That's
style
up to
as a
me to
player.
be the mature
Maybe that's the
person
way it
and
is
make
really
my
when
goal
you
route better.
draft, you know, almost any player. If you have
You
a
talking about, yo, he
player
didn't
that
bring
has
this
a
up. We can
skill
still.
set
That's
an
up
impact
to
player on the team, no matter
you.
what position he
I
plays,
just said that.
probably
Yo,
try to
it asses.
accommodate
So,
and play to his
we are
strengths,
roasting,
utilize his
okay?
skills the
Because
best that
once
you can,
again,
whatever position
ta-da,
it is.
okay? Oh, that's not enough. Head ass. But
Honestly,
we
it's
know,
not a
okay?
concern
I
with,
know when I see my partner in
general
them,
trends and all
okay?
that are. It's really just trying to help our team.
And
trying
they
to
know
find
my
ways,
comedy ways and my
as we can
IQ,
to
my
make our team
me
as
coaching
competitive
wise and
whatever that
etc.
entails.
And
there's certainly
people
a
are
lot of,
way off.
you know, a lot of chapters in that.
We
There's
know
a lot
what
of
that
different ways
means,
to do it,
okay?
but,
We know.
yeah, ultimately, I think
So,
you wanna
that
enhance
being
the
said,
skills of your
as
players, no matter what position
we
they're
know
in.
where I went before,
Just quickly add on.
and you feel me? We yeah, we,
You're open
but
to one guy versus
but
one
that's
style
okay
versus
because
maybe another style, whether it's
I don't deserve privacy if I choosing to be
and then, you know,
a role model.
Lamar Jackson,
But I
obviously,
could be want to be a role model for privacy. How? We're not giving it to you.
where you're going with the future.
Exactly. So that being said,
Well,
as
again,
I
think
be a
whoever the players
goddamn
are at whatever position you're talking
conductor,
about, if you want to enhance their skills, then you want to adapt a little bit of what your scheme is to do that. So that's really a decision that you have to make.
3 more songs before. That's it.
You've got a couple
Billy,
different
Billy.
styles of
So
player at that
that's
position.
my whole thing of being a conductor. Okay, I'm a
Tried to do
conduct.
that, in those,
We already know.
games.
We could have applauded and threw roses after that song, but y'all gonna wait till the conductor brings out his gold batoon, and then y'all gonna throw y'all roses and stuff like that. So,
Hey, Bill, how are you?
Good, Joe. How you doing?
Good.
you feel me? High story repeats itself via YouTube time traveling. Bill Belichick is safe in the video, okay? I'm not pulling them up citizen arrested. I'm pulling them up under care. I'm breaking the
Julian's
internet.
been,
So I'm just using
one of
that.
the-
So instead of breaking the
one of the
internet and
players
getting
that's
views, I'm
probably
using more
come,
as a cell phone to keep my
come
privacy
further
that's
than most
barely
every
there.
other player that I've coached.
And
His
you guys is
development
not gonna
from,
tell me Darrell Reeves will hold me on the goal route
quarterback in college
because I
to,
would know how
a
to stop
receiver,
Randy Moss
punt
from catching the
returner,
ball.
and
You feel
even a
me?
defensive player,
Which
all things
me
that he-
trying to intercept the
positions
ball
that he never
will
played,
might cause Randy Moss to
and
catch the
certainly
ball.
to excel as
But
a
the
punt returner, as a
objective is to
receiver,
make sure he don't catch the
for a
ball.
number of
And
years
that's
at-
my
at
whole
those very
criteria
difficult
of
positions
talking
is quite an
skills.
accomplishment.
Like
Especially considering the
basketball,
fact that he
I try to
didn't do
steal
those
the
things.
ball, you feel me? Which causes
wasn't trained
people
do 'em
to
in,
act like
in
they
college.
passed me.
So,
I tried to
you
steal
know,
the
his
ball.
toughness,
You're
his
supposed to
competitiveness,
pass me
his,
if I tried to steal the ball. I'm not playing
playmaking
defense
ability,
on you. I'm telling you,
certainly is,
you
it's
suck.
a big part of the backbone of our team. And,
Okay, now me
you know, there's a
intercepting
ton
the
of
ball
respect
does
for
not
Julian
mean
for
Randy
his
Moss sucks,
accomplishments
because
in
that's up to
his
the
career, how hard he worked to
quarterback to throw
accomplish
the
it,
ball right.
and,
But
great
when I
appreciation for
go
all he's
play,
done for-
no matter who I play
for me,
against
personally, and our organization.
in basketball, I try to steal the ball. So if I over aggressively try to do some stupid, put my hand out to steal the ball, I am telling you, you suck.
And he said he
was asked about the
If you
draft. He
didn't
said,
suck,
I don't feel we've
I
done
would
the
just
greatest
play
job the last few
defense
years.
against you. I would
He
not
said
try to
he's seen
steal
a
the
different
ball.
approach this
Okay?
year. Would
You
agree
suck.
with
I
his
try to
assessment?
steal the
What
ball.
are some of the things that you guys are
Nobody,
trying to
you
do
feel me? That's the whole Lanier breaching and waiting for me to go to LA Fitness, so I haven't went. So they
we're
trying
always,
to call me bony, but
always
I'm a
looking
thick
to get
150
better.
still, no matter
Always try
if
to
I lose
evaluate
weight.
everything we do and try
And
to
that's
find a better
hard to
way
keep.
to do it.
Most
So
people might go to
that's,
200
I would say an
and then
annual
drop to
process with
118.
the
You
draft,
feel
but
me?
it's something
Or
that
will
we
be
do
because it's all
on a
fat.
regular
You feel me?
basis
Or
throughout
still
the
be
course of the
fat
season, whether
and
it's,
just be a
whatever
heavy
period of
whatever
time
they
it
are.
is. So,
You don't see someone be able to
always
thickly
looking
stay
to do a better
at
job. There were some things that
something higher than 130.
last
You
year that
feel
were
me?
unique to the draft
So that
process.
being
As I
said,
mentioned, some of those are similar this year. Some of them are a little bit different.
I always
So
try
we,
to steal the ball.
Certainly,
Right? I haven't said that for
use some
all
of that
for a
experience
long time,
to
so now I got my conducting
improve the process a little bit this year. At
on
least we
beat
felt we
of
improved it this year.
what people watch out for him. He always tries
ultimately,
to
we're
steal
still
the
gonna
ball. I'm
try
like,
to,
well, does he?
Evaluate the players and make the
And then they
decisions
just start
that, we
cheesing
feel
because it's
are best
like,
for the football team. We'll continue to do that.
because once again,
That's
if I
that's really what we've always tried to do. I don't
overreact,
think the
overdo
commission
it,
has changed.
if I try to improvise,
Quick
steal
follow-up.
the
I
ball,
apologize, Stacey,
I'm
we're gonna
telling
get
you,
to
you
opportunities
suck.
when you build.
Okay,
Just a
because
question
I'm
about
not
the
going to
draft
do that in the
process.
game. I'm going to
College
steal the
football
ball
season was
like
so
you
strange
got
this year
dang
with
Kyrie
truncated
Irving,
seasons, some guys not playing.
like you Kawhi,
What is it like watching
like
film
you
this
Michael
past year? You
Jordan.
found the film
Okay,
to be just as useful as it was
I'm gonna
the
take
previous
it from
year?
AI. Okay, so that's the difference.
No, I think that's a
of
really good question, and
me showing my skills and just
I
enjoying
think it depends
myself.
on the team that you're talking
Okay,
about,
now
and the circumstances
Randy
that
Moss,
they played in. It could be also,
I would just try
the individual
to slap
player
the ball down.
that you're,
I would not try to intercept the ball
evaluating.
unless that
So,
quarterback threw it
I think that
ugly,
question
and that's
has
going to be a
some,
conversation with me and Randy.
twists and turns to it.
Okay,
It has an
so
application that
you
with
know,
variance depending on which
Luke
player,
Kuechly
which
is another
conference,
person
and the set of
that told
circumstances
that
around
when
that,
he saw me
that
playing,
team or that individual player. So, in
when
some
he saw me
respects, the
playing middle
19 film
linebacker,
is
he
probably a
said,
better,
all them niggas are fucked
more of an apples to apples comparison of where
That's
players were.
fucked up.
But at the same time, we all
That's
know
not
that
how you
players
give
get better
someone
with another year of
sportsmanship.
experience, and
So that's my
so there were a lot
whole
of
why I
players that
said I
improved
could
from
play
19 to
middle
20,
line, but I told him every
as
position
they would
on
normally
defense.
do, and then
But
there
he
were
just
a
brought
lot
up
of
middle
circumstances surrounding
linebacker.
the 20 season. So it's made the evaluation a little bit different, and
So
just have to try to figure out, what
you
again
feel
what
me?
you
So
think
once
the
again,
player will be able to do for
we know where I
your
went
team, what his
outside.
role will be,
Okay.
and what the rate of development or what the process will be when you get him onto your team. And there's a little bit less
So,
information
that
than
being
maybe
said,
what we normally have. But
because I could have gone to
again, all
multiple
teams are
places,
working with
right?
the same general information. So each team's gonna have to make its own decision on that. But yeah, the evaluation is definitely different, Ben, no question. And it's
Larry
we've had a lot of
Fitzgerald,
conversations
I
about
would
it.
try to slap
As
the
I
ball
said, it's
down.
not the same
Okay.
for all players.
Cadell
I-
Patterson, I would try to slap the ball down. You feel me? You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the goddamn sunlight of
Hey, Mike.
scouts, but
Based on what you guys did this offseason,
Um,
unprecedented spending spree for this organization.
you feel me? What Bill Belichick would want it, but people be bucking, and he be like, "Well, you know what I would say, because you bucking on me to not tell you it. So if I don't see it, don't wait to hear the reporters notice what you buck on me, because I've been dealing with this for
Well, again,
decades."
the process this offseason was to, as it always is,
So,
to try to
yeah.
improve the team and to try to do everything we can to
DeAndre
make,
Hopkins,
ourselves
Andre Johnson, I
as
would
competitive
intercept the ball.
as we can this year, which is what we try to do every year.
Calvin Johnson, I would slap the ball
we
down.
had several years
AKA
in free agency where we were
when he went
one of the
against
least,
Brent
cash
Grimes and
spending
he
teams
was
in the league,
using
and then
me
this
as a
that changed and balanced it off. So that's really what you have in the NFL teams that
whoa,
don't spend
look
and
at
spend,
that
spend,
league
and there are years when they
from
don't
riding
spend. So
reverse to
it averages that over a period of
now.
time, and that's
Moment of silence.
that's
So
part of
that
the
being
averaging
said, and I'm
process
known
came
as
this
the
year. But ultimately, we're trying to
that's be dumb
again do what we can to improve the team like we always do
Bill
every
to
year.
choose the Monta
That's what
Smith
we're going to continue to do as we work through the draft
or
process.
anybody else in
Other
the
team
draft.
building opportunities that
And
may or may
Cam is
not
from
come along during
Fulton
the season,
County,
but
so he know
I'm
when
sure there'll
people
be
pull
others,
up in Atlanta in his
somewhere along
city.
the line.
He knows the
Evaluate
This is what I'm
those
saying when I
they
bring up
present
these people.
themselves.
They know the vibe shift. They know that.
Hey, Bill.
So if they don't know the name of the child, they know someone's in danger. You feel me? If they don't know, you feel me? If they don't know the vibe, they know someone's clouding up their vibe. So they need to get to a safe spot to watch who's following them. You feel me? This is stuff these prospects did on their own whereabouts, like Allen Iverson too, because of certain control and hospitality that wasn't given that made them heroes.
And how hard is it, Bill?
So, you know, I ain't trying to call out who I is because I sound cocky. But, you know, the whole thing is...
And is there a kind of scale? We don't want him there. He's got to take it round.
Falling, yeah, I am falling.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are all good questions, and they're all things
So once again,
that we talk
we
about.
are
and consider.
roasting.
I mean,
I don't know how many times we got to
it
say
doesn't
it.
really matter.
I
what
never
round
had
you
to
get the
say
player
it,
in.
so
Once
it
he walks in the
be in
door,
space to be able to say it, but not other
he's a
words.
Patriot player, and he puts
It's
on the uniform
capiche.
and goes out there and competes. It doesn't matter if he's in the second round or the fifth round.
But I did it out.
That doesn't matter
So,
once he's on your team. So
The
whatever
whole
his
thing is
positives and negatives are, whatever he brings to the table, whatever weaknesses you think he might have, or all the other things you brought
Jalen
up, whatever
Ramsey
those
would be
are,
a corner
aren't,
that
they're the same
that
no matter
would just
where,
means
where that
we
individual
got to
player
play
gets selected. So
to a scheme
ultimately you want to try to maximize the value
to get
of,
the
of your picks,
ISOs.
but
You feel me? The right time for the
players to
ISOs.
play are, and
He would do that against any
you
corner.
try to put a value on that
You
and
feel
try
me?
to figure out what that player will do for your team when he's on your team.
And everybody on Jalen Ramsey,
what
since you
his,
feel
what his
me,
role will be, what his level of
the beat
performance
would
will
go.
be, and
I don't want to do that.
you know,
I'm gonna
that's part of
conduct
the
it the
process
right
that
way.
you use to select them.
So
It's important with every pick. It doesn't matter, what number it is or what round it is.
I don't know. I don't know.
Each pick
Aaron
is
Rodgers is a good
its own
quarterback.
process.
I'm not
The
gonna
level
give
of
none of
talent
those
of the
wide
players
receivers
certainly
credit.
changes as you go
I
through the
almost
rounds in the
gave
draft, but I'd say
one wide
from
receiver
a
credit, but then
process
they started
standpoint,
going
it's
ballistics.
pretty much the same. I mean, if you get into a later round, you might want to, take a shot on a player, a Julian Edelman player that's
Well,
maybe.
the ones y'all compare to Randy Moss.
There's some development in
The
that
ones y'all
player
compare to
because he's going to
Charles
play a
Woodson.
position
You
that he
feel
hasn't played
me?
before, or whatever the circumstances
The
happen
ones y'all
happen
compare
to
to
be.
Javion Clowney.
But
The ones y'all compare to
as far as the other parts of it, the work ethic and the aptitude and character and so forth, commitment to football and that type of thing. Those are part of
Peyton
every
Manning
conversation
and
every
Tom
every draft
Brady
pick.
and Michael Vick. You feel me?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Phil Perry, followed by Yanni Caracas.
Ones y'all compare to Luke Kuechly. You feel me? Oh, no one gets compared to Luke Kuechly. Yay! But yeah, so that whole thing, that's crazy. No one gets compared to Luke Kuechly, and I got a little chemical X. So that's crazy. Devonta Smith always want to say this, and you're not gonna tell me a 22-year-old is better than his brother. He only weighing 166. He don't even have weight to throw on me, so he don't have the durability to keep going. Type ish. Like that's all y'all trying to say.
Well, I think that question really applies to every position on the board. There are players that
Calvin Ridley is another person, but Matt Ryan is a sorry quarterback, so he's gonna let Calvin Ridley look sorry.
Production has been over the course of their career. You're not going to get that player if you see the player's upside and development and growth. Then
we
gonna
let Josh Gordon get back in the league type stuff.
Because you feel that
I don't know
time,
why people don't want to deal with that type of leadership. But if the momentum goes crazy and I just want to win, they're gonna go.
Will
That's
perform
what I do.
above maybe what his production was in college. Could be injury related. Could be, as I said, scheme related.
If I played in the NBA, I would not try to steal the ball every second.
Those
I would be
are
playing
always
guitar
things
hero.
that you
Okay,
talk
I would
about.
be showing my footwork, and someone would do a stupid
betting on
move,
the come
and
there.
there
You're
would be
betting
cookies.
on the
Okay,
players.
LA Fitness, I try to steal the ball
versus
every
what you
time.
might
I don't
actually see from another
like, come
player,
on,
but,
now I'm not about to.
In some cases,
Y'all
the
suck.
upside might be greater. Maybe the downside might be greater too. But
Y'all compared,
at some point,
not wanting to know that y'all
you
suck.
decide to make that investment, and
as a linear breaching cloud.
then when we all see how the player turns out. But that's
because boy, I can
that's
make all
fairly
my
common
shots.
at every position. There are always players at every spot that fall into that category
You
that
feel
you
me?
have to.
Now
You know
tell
you're
me
going to
where
have
at
to
LA
draft
Fitness
higher
did
than
I
really what they've done.
do any of
But
this focus
if you're willing to
energy
do
when
that,
people played
and that's
against
what they
me?
need to do to get the player, then
Well, duh, I'm missing
then
shots.
you draft them. At
I
a higher
don't take
spot
it
and hope that
serious.
their production actually, reflects the potential.
No. You know how serious I would
Yeah,
be.
you're welcome.
You know how serious I am at a job. You feel me? Is that it? Add me how? Oh, he makes his shots,
So-called in-game adjustments to a
but
draft. Prior to the draft, when you're doing
there's
all
not
your
even a
work,
wee bit. That's
how
not
many,
even
if any,
looking at the
mock
rim
drafts are
serious.
you
That's
guys
like
doing
you glimpse
internally
and then
as
shot
well as
it.
team?
But it didn't
Any
look
guys
like
are like
that.
12, 13, this is what we do at 15. Versus if they do
Plus,
this is what we do at 15.
getting a
Or if you just sit
job.
back at 15 and at that moment make a decision. How much you forecasting
Whoa.
other teams
Now,
and all the machinations that could occur.
look at ambulance work from when I was on the
Right.
field
Well,
in football.
I think that again, each
But
draft's
I'm
a
not.
little bit different.
I'm gonna treat them. They're gonna have
so
my
each year's a
comedy.
little bit different, but all that being
Plus getting
said,
whoa.
at 15, I think we could eliminate a few players that won't be at 15. And then you could look at a couple scenarios and say, well, if these three players are there, which one would we take? If
So that's
these
everything.
are three different
We
players
probably
are there,
gonna-
which one would you take? You go through that
You feel me?
exercise
Just chill,
and talk about
conducting.
that.
You
But
feel me?
I would say
That's
normally
that's too many views. I don't
something.
want
Now,
none views.
there's less options at 15 than there are, 28, 30, 31.
So that being said,
some other spots that we've drafted from, but
from the north,
I would say normally something will happen, and there could very well be a player there that either you don't expect to be there, or
people's not following
maybe
paperwork.
he
But yeah,
is
so
a couple
this-
spots, maybe at 12, 13, he's still on the board. And you really thought
all
that
I
he'd be
know
going
is
in
the
top
NFLPA
6,
know
7
me.
picks.
That's all I
And
want to
then
say.
that-
Okay,
then
and
the
come
question
after me.
comes, do you move up and try to get
You
that
feel
player
me?
that's
Don't come after
vulnerable?
this energy. Come after this
And
energy.
so
Yeah,
those
feel
are
me?
kind of the scenarios.
So
you go
that being
through.
said,
which players would you move up for to get? Which players would
because
you not move
I
up
didn't
for?
got
that,
they made
you
a
would
statement
wait
and
decide whether you wanted to pick them at the spot that you're at.
people be trying to
and what
act like I be
players,
talking under their breath, but actually they just be raising their
if
voice
certain
because the
players
truth is
weren't there
loud.
and
And
you
I'm like,
felt
what?
well,
Someone's about to
value
say,
of
I
that
know.
pick might be the same whether
And-
you're at 15 or at a lower position, or again, it's
You
the same
know.
thing in every round. But you're talking
Like I
about
said about the
first round.
lion dragon,
Feel
they
like you're gonna
confirm
get the
everything
same
for me.
player,
The
same
animals in the
quality
jungle
of player,
confirm
or
everything
maybe the
for me.
player that you like.
When
whatever
humans
reason you
don't.
think would be available at 20,
So-
then maybe you trade back to 20 and take them there, or take that
The
value
objective
at 20 rather than
is to
taking
get
it
the
at
war
15.
room
So,
to this peak. I'm not
and
hiding.
again, I'm just
I
picking
don't know what
numbers
y'all
here
thought I was
out
gonna
of
say,
the hat, but the
but
concept
y'all
is,
know that I miss shots
that's really what it is.
because
Who do you move
people
up
be
for?
threatening their
Who
life.
do you take if
And like
you
I
stay,
said in the
and
post,
what players are on the board, and if
if
players
you're
are
on
the
a
board that
skyscraper,
you feel like don't
not with
add a lot of
authority,
value, or
and you
maybe
got
they're
a
not,
gun, and the gun jams, and the
the kind of
helicopter
fit
pull
for
up,
your team
that
that
helicopter
you're
is not
looking for
about
in
to
that
park to
particular
come get you.
situation, then maybe
Okay?
you say, okay, we've
You
got
have to walk
maybe we consider moving
downstairs
back.
or
Now you
walk
can only move back
inside
if somebody else wants to move up. So ultimately, you've got to
because
be
they
ready
don't
to
want
pick.
you to fall off the
But
skyscraper.
Sometimes there's certainly been many times where we felt that we were able to get the same player or a comparable value at a lower point in the draft.
And next
and
best part
so
about
we move backwards. So again,
knowing what you mean,
really,
but
all
people
that is to
think that
say
they shrouded
the best-
up the
I
atmosphere
think
with
the
their
best thing we can do is do
cafeteria.
our
I'm
homework,
like,
know the players, know the
well,
board,
what happens after a food
and
fight?
and
We
when we
run.
walk into the room for the final exam, and then we see the questions on the test.
You
when
run, don't you
it
gotta
comes
go
our
to school
turn
the
pick,
next day?
a few spots in front of our pick, then we have to, potentially start making some decisions. And sometimes
that'd be
people will come to
sad
you with
because-
opportunities that you may not have anticipated, and then
I'm
you have to
looking
make those
at killing
decisions
them
then as
just
to
with
whether or
my
not
vision. My force is
you
the
would
same
wanna,
as my vision. You feel me? My
move
music
your
has a
selection
whole
pick
cadence that
up or
Cam
down,
can
depending on
vibe
what,
to. You feel me?
what the offer is and so forth.
So running back that agrees with Cam.
A lot of it's fluid, but
5'2".
there's certainly the scenarios that are worth going through as exercises to think about and
let me play little
kind of
linebackers
prepare
since these
for.
people
I'd
don't
say,
want to listen. Because Michael Kendricks, I think
I'd
his
say
name was,
more
from the
often
Eagles.
than not, the ones
Oh yeah, that's
that you
what I
go
told
through
the last.
don't
I
happen.
asked him. I said
It's usually something a little bit different
and stuff like that, and he said, "Give me an example."
So
and I said,
but you never
"Michael
know.
Kendricks."
So again, it's a good exercise.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I apologize, everyone. We've gone a little over our budgeted time. We're going to make the end road.
Yeah, moment of silence.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Good, Dan. How about you?
Okay, because once again, you're not gonna
That's
tell
good.
me
We don't want to hear him
someone
anyway, so
3 inches taller than me is better than me. You're not gonna tell me someone. You're not gonna tell me a 22-year-old that's only 3 inches taller than me is better than me. And you're not gonna tell me someone taller than me is better than me anyway, okay? But I'm just saying.
well, as always, there are some interesting players.
alibi
I think we
arguments
talked earlier about the
I
draft
think I'm gonna say
process.
touche.
Some players didn't play.
And
Some
really, I
players
see
played a
your
full
point
season.
is
Some
some
players
near
played
breaching type stuff.
partial season.
Because
when
they
you look
didn't say
at the players
Kadarius
at that
Toney
position, I think you
is
see a
like
lot of
Percy Harvin. I said
different,
Percy Harvin was like LeBron James.
differences in the
That's not a
2020
good thing.
season.
But yeah, so
You know,
that being
a lot of it's
said,
by conference, but there some other
you
circumstances
know,
as
people
well.
be comparing people to the
So
wrong
it's
things.
an interesting
man.
class. It's an interesting group of guys, and some have.
You feel
some,
me? I'm a
very strong
grown
in some
man.
skills. Some
I'm
are,
like that.
seem
You
very
feel me?
strong in other
I've been
skills.
like I said, we're not using ground zero
it's
arguments.
definitely an interesting group.
You feel me? At the end of what y'all say, all I gotta do is say,
Coach, thank you
I'm
very
a
much for your
grown
time,
man.
and, apologize
Now,
to
if
those
you think after
Great,
having
thank
this whole conversation, this whole conversation about all of this stuff, and we left out that I'm grown, like you kept in mind when I was a kid, I had to respect grown people. You got me twisted, and we're gonna leave it at that, okay?
Together, I hope everyone's doing well.